This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
Hi, this is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Thanks.
Hey, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd, and hear me out, Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just here ready for another epic edition of One Nation Radio. Apparently, Shitter Umino has been sent home from the G1. I did not have that on my format sheet, but King of the North is imploring that I say something about this. Konosuke Takeshita sent him home, crying, disappointing his father. Apparently, or excuse me, it wasn't Takeshita. Tsuji sent him home, and Takeshita is facing Tsuji next. And apparently, like, Red Shoes had this reaction where he like refused to basically like shake or raise Yota Tsuji's hand.
Yeah,
like, and the company is looking real bothered that nobody is really taking to Shitter Umino. So that's interesting.
It is. I don't have much. Like, I guess I'll have to wait until next week to listen to Keepin It Strong Style to see what the fuck's going on, if that's a work or a shooter, all that kind of stuff. But just from hearing it sounds nasty. Yeah, it sounds nasty.
But besides that, yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about today. Looking at the schedule and all that, it's, you know what time of year it is, James. It's Forbidden Door season, and I feel like we do this segment almost on an annual basis, like where we talk about Forbidden Door. We talk about, either what's happening or, there's a specific group. Actually, no, there is not a specific group. It kind of just goes on rotation. So sometimes it's like your Where Are the Stories people. Yeah. Sometimes it's just your flat out WWE people that hate to see people of different ethnicities show up. Yeah. Yeah. Then there's your super hardcore New Japan Pro Wrestling fans. Then there's like your puro elitists that are just every year melt down and just shit down their legs about the whole thing and literally cry their way into the show until, the show happens and it delivers once again. Well, it came around again this year. Obviously, this year kind of had some different challenges within the schedule because All In happened and then it was Forbidden Door. Usually Forbidden Door is right after Double or Nothing, and they switched it due to basically All In switching, and then All Out's later in the year. And coincided with the G1 essentially, so there was even less traditional build, if you call it that, than normal for Forbidden Door. But in this, we did get Hiromu Takahashi showing up yesterday. But before that, I don't even want to get to all that right now. I want to talk about the crying and the harshness, and these people basically coming out here every year and never learning the lesson of doing all the selling out. And I'm like, all right, man. Like, I don't know what they want, man. Like, Well, I do know what they want.
You know what they want. Like, they want the wrestlers back. That's the real shit. They want their best wrestlers back because AEW over the last 3 years has just taken just everybody. Like, all their best wrestlers all come to New Japan. Like, so all come to AEW. So like that's really the main thing. And like, obviously, like, you know, I first saw most of these people for the first time in New Japan. So like, I absolutely get this. Like, damn, like, you just like WWE, America, flat. I'm saying America has just destabilized Japan. Like, it's just
look. Maybe Gato should try to make some new ones, James. But the problem is,
what you're saying is he should make more hoves. It is not like the New Japan fandom is like,
James.
Can I finish?
All they do. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. It is not like when I see them complain about it. It's not like the New Japan fans are acting like it's so easy to make more hoves. It's like, you took our hoves. Like, we're homeless
I don't know,
now.
man.
We're Rockefeller home now.
People be telling me how much, you know, House of Torture is doing well for the business, and
that's cool.
And how much David Finlay is a star.
That's cool.
Zack Sabre Jr. is just, you know, it was long overdue. He's this Gaijin legend essentially now. Like,
that's
like these.
That's true though. In Sabre, look, Sabre would be in AEW if he had any interest in wrestling in America full time. Well, you know, he has a job waiting for him. I'm sure every time he goes to Forbidden Door for one of these, Tony kind of like, you know, if you ever want to, the door's always open. The Forbidden Door is always open for Zack Sabre Jr. He always walk his ass through, have a good ass match, take his ass back to Japan. So I get it. I wouldn't put that on Sabre, but the rest of it, as far as them not building new stars or even like, you know, not paying the wrestlers and then letting AEW then like double the amount of money, plus with the economy, you know, going up and down over the last 3 years. Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, they had money to give to Matt Riddle. You know, they had money to give to Nick Nemeth. You know,
are they still there?
They didn't have money for Tetsuya Naito no more. Apparently,
they didn't have the money for Tetsuya Naito after you know, they know that Tanahashi is coming off the talent wrestler books, and Okada was already off the books. So where's the money going?
Embezzlement. We need to check Gato's accounts.
So another thing that was interesting was seeing Velkej. Shout out to Velkej right now, and this time only I'm saying shout out to Velkej. He posted the Bushiroad financials for the fiscal year, and like, they're up from last year. Bushiroad in total is up from last year. It ain't like they're pitching pennies and they're cutting costs. Like, something's going on. I don't know what sector is classified in the live. I don't know if it's live entertainment or whatever else, where like the wrestling is, but like, Bushiroad in general is up from last year as far as their earnings.
All I hear about is how awesome these people are now, and you know, Sonata got this huge push over the last couple years. Why? Like, these people can barely break on the Forbidden Door card. And then it's like, I don't know, are they upset that these people are not being booked again? It's like, all right, man, I'm sorry. The Great Okan is not coming to challenge for the AEW World title on pay-per-view. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, bro. Yeah. Like, ain't nobody trying to watch that shit.
It's just flat out. So honestly, it's like, look, man, when there was Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada, Tanahashi, who was still able to give you something, and a Naito and was able to give you something. You had matches that were there for you that the crowd want to see from these people that have history with other people and whatnot. Now, at this point, now that everybody aside from Tanahashi, I just mentioned, it's either out on the way out the company, or in AEW, the draw of Forbidden Door is not necessarily what it used to be. I think, quite honestly, the thing that's working in their absolute favor is part where it's like, we only go to London once a year. They love pro wrestling there. So when you put a big show there, people will go regardless. And it's O2 Arena, it's not Wembley. So that's the saving grace for the day, and also just the track record of what Forbidden Doors have been. And I guess that's the main thing of why me and you talked about this, about like people complaining about the lack of build, which is absolutely valid. but I feel like they built up enough credibility over the last. I think this is their fourth time doing this now.
Yep.
That like at worst you're getting a very good show, and kind of on average you're getting a great show, and a couple times you've gotten a top 10 show of the year. So.
I also think it's like at this point it's becoming an annual reminder of the lack of star power, of the lack of what New Japan actually is bringing to the table.
Yeah,
all they doing is showing up and like I don't hear nothing about them like contributing. To basically front this shit. This is an AEW show essentially. All you niggas have to do is just show up, and do your thing, and you get the co-brand and name on it. Like
right. I
don't know, man. Like maybe we can find useful things for people like Ren Narita to do, James. Maybe we can have them help set up the ring. The ring is going to need some reinforcement. Him and David Finlay can work on each corner.
Man, like another part about it is
do you Uemura, get the other one, grab a wrench, get it from the House of Torture, bring it over.
Showing yo.
Yeah. People need water backstage.
That Tony Khan won't be nasty enough to bring people over to be, young boys over to be part of the ring crew, would they?
No, he would.
I knew the answer. I just wanted to see if he was gonna go for the joke or not. Okay. I want to see where it was at because you kind of sticking your foot up their ass right now. So I was just trying to see if you're gonna still kick them while they down like this. If you're gonna keep stomping on Jeremy and Josh like this, even though Jeremy and Josh are well aware of the situation right now.
They know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the rest. Look, they know what it is. I know Josh be a little, a little cranky sometimes.
Yeah. Josh is his enjoyment of all the pro wrestling season fluctuate with how much if he's enjoying having to watch these road twos. Fair enough.
Yeah, so you don't care about it. That's one thing. But I'm like, all right, man, don't act like this show is gonna be whack. For one, like they're gonna still figure the shit out. And then when the shit the card essentially got confirmed last night.
But that's the main thing. People were doing the complaining in the worst time to do it when we saw it because it's like we still got 2 more shows to go. They ain't even like at that point in time. I saw someone say that the show the shit sucked, or use it as like it said someone lines of this card sucks. And in my mind, I was like, to my knowledge, there's a Mercedes triple or quad fatal 4-way match that's gonna have 3 other really good wrestlers involved. There is an Athena and Toni Storm match on here, and there was a Swerve and Okada match on there. Like that's 3 of the at most 10 matches you're gonna get on the card. Like, what are the odds that the rest is gonna suck? Like, unless they put dud after dud after dud, the show wasn't going to suck at the begin with. So I just couldn't get it. And then, they dropped the big face Joker for a fucking lights out, a lights out or 5v5 tech or cage match. It was like, okay, all right, man. Like, this is why I don't be tweeting. I don't want people to come on my shit and dunk on me like this. If I was to just hop out there and say this kind of stuff. Like, it's very reactive without, like, a thought of precedent at times. It's strange. It's strange. And like obviously that happens on Twitter, right? But it's like, man, like when y'all gonna learn this lesson about complaining about the build for Forbidden Door? Like, so I just think it's a mistake. There's another one of those things like every year we gonna go through this. Every year we gotta go through this. It's gonna be a tradition like any other. People gonna be hyperventilating, freaking out, complaining about this, and then they're gonna go out there and have a great fucking show, and then people gonna be like, oh yeah, that was one of the best shows of the year, my bad, dog. And then until 12 months later, or 50 weeks from now, where it happens again.
Like, in a perfect world, you would be getting just like the top of the roster versus the top of the roster, no matter who it is, all right? But here in the real world, where they're trying to sell pay-per-views and they're trying to like maximize the star power, and they're adhering to the scheduling, and there's push and pull on that with the schedules, because it's like they're not going to tell New Japan to move the G1,
right?
But they're not going to tell AEW when to schedule All In. So like we already know these are extenuating circumstances. For one, it's normally not like this.
Yeah.
So in my eyes, it just it is the customary crying that had to take place, and then all the wrestlers come over, try hard, work hard, get nice reactions, and then everybody celebrates by the end of the night. Just how Wrestle Dynasty wiped the ass of Wrestle Kingdom this year.
Yeah.
It kicked the shit out of it. And people act like this didn't happen.
Yeah. Good point. Totally I don't even think about the dome shows like that, but yeah, good point.
Same thing. Why is AEW not doing anything for Wrestle Dynasty? I don't know what
I don't know. When I watched it, I enjoyed it more.
You send niggas on a road to Wrestle Dynasty tour? No, you know they're not doing that.
Right. That's not going to help. That's not going to help any of them Christmas week Corkins at all. Like you just want Ricochet to be there while the snow drops. That's really what it is. You care that much? You care that much?
It's amazing, man. I don't know, man. It's the pre-customary cry. I'm glad they got it all out because it was packed up immediately by the time the card pretty much got finalized, and looks like one of the best shows of the year set to come. So
yeah,
I guess we can do the full preview next week.
Yeah,
when we lock it in, for good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that cage match, I know why they're doing the cage match. And all that. Obviously, a lot of these guys are banged up and stuff like that. They're basically trying to create a somewhat easy match inside of like this stipulation. But what lineup?
And they ain't do Blood and Guts this year.
It did not. I think the Blood and Guts might go to the women. So we'll see.
Oh, you think we're going? You don't think we're past that? Like it's normally in the summer.
No.
Normally we would already have Blood and Guts based on schedule.
You know what? You're right. I am looking at the calendar like it's August. So, maybe.
Yeah, because that's just normally
All
like
In being in July messed it up, and maybe they swapped it with All In.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, because remember it used to always be in that run where it's like, my God, like their summer just like, like they're just by the time they get to summer, it's like it's every 3 weeks is something big going on. Like I don't even know have they announced Arthur Ashe yet or no?
No.
Do you think they're going to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I had to check on that because I thought I heard something about Grand Slam maybe being somewhere else. I had to double check that.
I'll move somewhere else after you just did Texas. Yeah, I'd go to another country.
But yeah, man. Yeah, and they already did 2 Grand Slams this year. Yeah, I mean, those are different kind of ones. Tanahashi and Ibushi are on the same thing. Yeah, we'll talk about all that next week, like with the specifics and all that. I just wanted to laugh at the people crying.
Yeah.
Unclench the cheeks, and just chill. It ain't that damn big of a deal.
Okay, yeah. Before we move on, because we ain't gonna talk about it, I just want to say, like, when I saw that picture of the babyface side with the cage match, and I saw 4 wrestling gods, and then I saw Darby Allin, who's going to be, already is a memorable wrestler for his era, right? It's like watching watching this last Olympic team, and it's like, you got AD, LeBron, KD, and Steph, and then 4 NBA 75 guys, right? And they're still great. And then you also have Anthony Edwards. Is like, yeah, that's what it felt like. It's like look at these 4 already established all timers, and then the dude is going that's following, not necessarily their footsteps, but like he's already great or is definitely gonna be great by the end of it if he don't off the court don't hurt him. Off the court. It could be too many. It could be child support. It could be a car accident. It's still off the court.
Never know, man. So switch gears. We had there's an event coming up online. If you're someone that kind of does this online wrestling thing, about the self-made guys, or they have done a lot of work with like Wrestle Purists. So this is like Rob, Chris, Big AO, Ibu and Big AO are going to be having a debate, and this is like they've done different debates. I think they did a peak AEW versus peak NXT debate. They did. I forgot the other one they did, but the next one that they're doing is like who has a better GOAT case, and it's Kenny Omega versus CM Punk. Ibu will be arguing the CM Punk case. Big AO will be talking about the Kenny Omega's case. And I actually sent in, some footage for the montage they're putting together to promote it, but I figured I'd talk about it on the show too. And why not? James was like, why would we put this on the show? I was like, for clicks, like what the fuck? Like but yeah, so I saw this, and we've hosted different debates in the past. Like it's so suplex. Like I remember myself and Rance did a big debate over. It was something with Roman Reigns. I think it was about the John Cena Roman Reigns promos in 2017 or something like that. Go back in the archives.
I was a moderator on that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, go back in the archives if you want that. But yeah, this should be pretty interesting. AO, very bombastic personality, fucking hilarious. Ibu, hilarious in his own way, more mild mannered, very analytical, well spoken. Obviously, as done some stuff with like wrestling news. I wasn't gonna give him the articulate.
No, when you said well spoken, so I was like, where are we going with this?
Nah, because I think he alliterates his thoughts very well, and I think it actually bothers people that he actually explains things that clearly. And
it does because instead of because he rarely goes for the dunk. He's actually been like, I'm assuming you text me this nonsense in good faith, so I'm going to respond in good faith. And I think that burns people up. Yeah.
Yeah. So who has the better GOAT case? What an interesting question. I guess you got to figure out what the GOAT necessarily means to you. What does a GOAT pro wrestler need to have? James, what do you think are some of the things like a GOAT pro wrestler needs to have?
A GOAT pro wrestler? I mean, promos and matches. Promos, matches, rivalries, feuds. Pro wrestling. Yeah, so I mean, obviously they have their strengths and weaknesses when you go as far as like individual parts of the pro wrestling game or whatever else, right? Like I still think the CM Punk and MJF stuff is the best behavior MJF's ever been on, aside from when he's getting snake charmed by Adam Page, but and even then I still don't think the Adam Page stuff with MJF has been as good as what the CM Punk return stuff was with MJF. But like obviously most of wrestling is what happens in between the bells, and like CM Punk has been a great wrestler, but it's just we're talking about a guy that has a GOAT in ring GOAT argument. So it's like I don't necessarily see this as close. I think that if you are a person that thinks that CM Punk's better, you might have been like a really big in the Ring of Honor in the 2000s. You may have been somebody that was not that aware of Kenny Omega's career before AEW. But if you've seen a good amount of both, I have a hard time imagining you come to the conclusion that it's CM Punk. Outside of Kenny Omega didn't seem like he was interested in ever being the man really when he got to America.
Yeah, I think if you're arguing the Kenny Omega case, some things you're going to want to probably stay away from is like you're going to want to stay away from, like, as you just mentioned, like weekly television type character presence. Like you have like nothing. Like it's very difficult there. You don't have
much. You don't have much as a hero. You have a lot more during his title run as a bad guy.
Right. And conversely, I think if you are going for like personality based stuff, I think you got to talk about like the success that was BTE, like getting yourself over in a way that wasn't necessarily a blueprint, for you. You've seen different stuff like the Zack Ryder show and different stuff like that, but like BTE was something completely different. Like they actually flipped that into business. in multiple companies, multiple countries. Like these are like doing it just year after year after year after year, no break. Like there's I feel like the Kenny Omega argument is fairly straightforward. Like it's like, look at the incredible matches, look at the record business in multiple countries, and then like I was like, one of these guys is already a Hall of Famer, and the other
I was just about to say that. Look who's already in a Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, who isn't. Who's out here still struggling on the honorable mention on the votes, and one of the guys in the first ballot.
Yeah, the other guy hopes to one day be there. I think if you're arguing, the CM Punk case, like you got to, it's going to be a lot about time and place and how he makes you feel, and because it ain't going to be like, all right, look at the great matches, because like yes, there are.
I mean, they're there. They're just not as many as Kenny Omega. They ain't even close.
It's like for every one great CM Punk match, there's like four great Kenny Omega, 4 or 5, like. And it's just like, it's like, I don't know, brother. Like, and you got to kind of start navigating, how they're received within wrestling. You got to start navigating, the nasty stuff. You're gonna have to talk about Brawl Out, and then like the effect that kind of like, it takes like on both people's careers. Interesting. But yeah, this is a really a philosophical thing more than ever. We've seen different generational things like this. I really think the generational actual comp is Danielson and Omega, which would be like a Brett and Shawn, which would be like, just like these opposite type of wrestling styles, people, fans, and then you have to like look at Punk in that case, and it's like, it's like I don't even know if Punk's necessarily the right guy of this era to be doing that with. I think Danielson and Omega is a much more interesting and kind of salivating debate, because I think there's less leakage in Danielson's career. There's been there was injury time off with that and everything, but still. It was like CM Punk. There was still a lot of unanswered questions of how big could he really have been? Did the absence, did it create like something that would have been there, or would essentially when he came back, it was like, okay, is this like an artificial thing just because of how much you were missed? And what if you didn't leave? Like what would it have played out for you like then? I don't know, because like from everything that we kind of know of the story as the story goes, continuing for this guy was not an option apparently.
Yeah, he burns out wherever he goes. So there's definitely something to that. Now, what I would say is, like, as you mentioned the Danielson thing, like that, I find that to be more like Danielson versus Omega. I would find it to be more like compelling to think about. Like in my brain, like my immediate thing is like, oh, Omega, and then move on. No, not the Punk, like, but nah. But with Danielson is like, I've seen them in AEW. I've seen them in New Japan. Obviously, not even close to a fraction. Well, it is a fraction technically. Sorry, but like just an infinitesimal amount of Danielson in New Japan compared to what Omega was doing. But like Danielson was fucking excellent in New Japan. And then like you think about, like we talked about the challenges that Omega's had, or lack of whatever, it's the stuff that's been missing as far as the character stuff or whatever else in American Pro Wrestling, in TV wrestling, whatever else. Matches are still great, top of the line, but like the character stuff is there's something left to be desired. But with Danielson and / Daniel Bryan is like, this motherfucker, like he made chicken salad out of chicken shit. Like he, they had him as being a virgin one time. They had Michael Cole call him a virgin, an uncool, and he's from the indies, he's from the minor leagues. That man flipped that shit on his head and became one of the greatest underdog heroes in WWE history. Like he's one of the motherfuckers like he could have made anything work. He's one of the guys that could have made anything work, and he absolutely did for a long time. So like that's more interesting to me.
Yeah, I think with CM Punk, you're gonna have to lean on like his promo ability. You're gonna have to lean on some of the yeah, I know, kind of weird.
Okay. I was like, wait, what?
You're gonna have to lean on some of the individual business things like the first dance and individual impacts like on wrestling like that. But like the more you bring up like isolated events, like there's gonna be some stuff you're gonna have to avoid too. Like as far as like how does Nick keep losing his job and like like you gotta like navigate. It's like, hey, bro, like this stuff like it goes beyond the ring. Like it. In one sense, it's like you can keep it real basic and be like, yo, I think one guy mops the floor with the other, as far as working in the ring, promos and storylines. But like what makes people the greatest for me isn't always necessarily how, like what plays out in the field of play. Like it's like, did you inspire people? Did you move people? Did you, have people like living and dying with you?
Also, just as important, maybe more important when it comes to these kind of debates. Who did you inspire? Because they both inspired a lot of people, but who was it? But like the people that in the next generation following, like that will also get people to make opinions off of what they think. Like like
look at all the people like I made a point today actually in the forum. I was like, when people have these hardcore Bret Hart associations like and influences, it's ironic they start. It's like they want to emulate Bret, but they actually turn out to emulate Shawn in a lot of ways, and then like vice versa.
Yeah,
like, and it's like you take on the traits of like the other one. So like it would be interesting to look at it, what the CM Punk tree, if there even is any, at this point.
Speaking of that, what's funny? You know how people talk about like the different psychology between Bret and Shawn, and like one was more realistic to a fight, and the other one was like just over the top and can anyone from the nosebleeds can see the reaction, and that's ridiculous or whatever else. Some people that are like not big Shawn fans or whatever else, like about his psychology on selling, not necessarily the melodrama, but the selling stuff. They love it. In showing ass, they love them some Kyle Fletcher, and I'm just like. He's in the Shawn Ziggler camp of showing ass and bumping around and making crazy faces.
Thing. Huh? I think that's an anti-Will thing personally. Trying to use the homeboy essentially to say, yeah, I do like new wrestling.
They don't wrestle dissimilarly. What are they talking about? You're probably right, but I'm just like, are you mad? Like, it's two people in the matches when they be doing that crazy shit. It's both of them.
So,
remember speaking back to Danielson. Remember when Danielson and Ospreay had that match and motherfuckers was talking about, this was a Danielson match. Like, this motherfucker did flip dives.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's like, all right, bro. But with the deal with influence, which is weird. CM Punk has spent so much of his career paying homage, honoring, sometimes just stealing from everyone else. It's like, how do you inspire others? Like, you can say, yeah, Kobe Bryant inspires people. He stole everything from Jordan, but it's not necessarily a one-for-one thing with like CM Punk in wrestling. Wrestling's a little, different.
Wrestling's fake.
Ric Flair stole from Buddy Rogers, and a lot of people were inspired by Flair, but like with Punk, I don't know. How do you look at, like, for me, Punk is so see-through in a sense. Like, once you notice what the tree is that he's like pulling from, it's like, oh, there's no like sense of like, it's like, why would I need to study you? Like, you're like a mixtape almost of all these.
Yeah. But not everybody are sickos like me and you that can go out there that will go be like, hey, this was good. I'll go back and watch it. If I find it on YouTube, I'll pull it up. I can go find it or whatever else. Like, we're not. we're in the sicko group. Not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Tunnel Talk is not pulling up no Manami's Hood match. It's not happening.
And it's like, and I can see like the tree of Kenny Omega already, and it's just like all these other. It's like Hangman Page, it's like Will Ospreay, it's Konosuke Takeshita, and it's like we can see like the roots already being planted, kind of for the next era of guys. It's like, who are those guys for CM Punk? And maybe that's like the 10 years missing of his career, or I think it was 10 years, like close to it. It was like, who are those guys that was like, that he was responsible to like either make or influence and things like that, where I'm like, I think it's just missing for him.
I mean, you can make
Rollins, like
you can make the argument that it's like it's guys that are Rollins' age, because he's like the people that are influenced by Danielson and Joe are also going to influence.
That's not a point for CM Punk.
And you can also be like people like MJF, right? Like that's also that. So it's like
okay.
Right, so like that's one example, but like I'm sure there's more. But like I said, like the influencing is like, all right, Michael Jordan inspired Kobe Bryant, like Kobe, and then you'd be like, all right, well, like LeBron James inspired Luka Doncic or whatever else. Okay, like most people, like at this stage in the game, like Luka's gonna get up to a body level. Like, nah, man, Kobe's already a legend and whatever else, and like he's an American and all this stuff that goes into that kind of thing, right? Like, people will look back and be like, all right, well, how good was Jokic really? Who did he inspire? Who did Tim Duncan inspire? Right? Like when we do the like for example, right, the last 20 years, who inspired more of the big man going forward? Like Tim Duncan or KG? Doesn't mean that Tim Duncan wasn't better than KG. Right, but it's just like, but it's also that's a real sport.
All these things can change.
That's
depending
a real sport
on the situation.
Versus, this,
Yeah. I think it's a really interesting kind of thing. I look forward to AO and Ibu, like where they're gonna go with it, because it could be bombastic comedy. It could just be relitigating All Out again. It could be an analytical thing. I'm interested to see which way to go with it. It could be real by the book. It could go off the rails. I think there's a lot of different areas to play with, and we just kind of maybe gave them just a little bit to sample from or whatever. They're gonna do their own thing.
However, it's gonna play out, right? That's like it's like two chess masters. I don't want to do that because now it sounds like I'm a blowhard. But like it's like two people that play chess talking about two other people how they their style of chess, how it's gonna play out if they play chess. It's like it's gonna play however it's gonna play out, and we have no influence on it. But I mean, either way, the main thing, for me would be like, check it out for the jokes, because like nothing's gonna be said in it that's probably gonna change my mind. I'm not saying that I'm some closed-minded person, but it's like I feel like that's just a bad opponent for CM Punk.
Yeah, like who do you think a better opponent for Punk would have been? We talked about who a better opponent for Omega would have been.
More compelling.
I'll say one, John Moxley.
That might have looked a little bit better about a month ago. Like at the rate this going, John Moxley about to roll off another 5 years of being good as fuck again after this last year. We were like, what the fuck happened? So
we're gonna have to talk about Moxley.
Yeah,
I made a tweet last night too that was like, all right, man, what the fuck went on here?
Bro, the same shit I had been saying, that shit that the Young Bucks did, where there was like, we're gonna have worse matches on purpose, and then once they get over that bullshit, they go back to having great matches as heels. That's what Moxley's done. Like the last 6 weeks. When was that match with the women in it?
It was pretty much from like Double or Nothing.
Was that Double or Nothing?
It was Double or Nothing.
Since Double or Nothing, what the fuck? He's been John Moxley again. I mean, we're like, what the fuck happened to this guy in 2024?
Right. I don't know, man, but. Yeah, so make sure you guys check out. I don't know when they're releasing it, but definitely show up if you went there because of us. Tell them O&R sent you, and enjoy however they play this thing out. But I do want to talk about something else before we get to AEW. want to talk about the WNBA players announced for the My Team mode in 2K this year. Now, I was like, man, I don't think I'm getting 2K this year. Like, there's nothing that I would really like. I just don't feel like it. I'm so deep into playing Madden now, like, and Swerve done infected me with this sickness, like, of playing Madden, and I actually fucked around and got good or whatever, and just be destroying the computer on all Madden and shit. But the 2K, like, they came up with an interesting thing, especially this is directly aimed at me or whatever. I've been wanting more for the WNBA side of 2K for a while. Like, it's very kind of stripped down. Like, you can do a franchise mode with them and go year to year, and then they have like a very bare bones my player or whatever, and you can have like a my player or whatever and play pretty much the 3-on-3 and then just do your career. And it's like basically how my player used to be in like the early 2010s. Like, that's what it was for the women. But they're allowing them to go into the My Team mode. Now, My Team mode, for those of you that don't know about it, is basically like a card collector game. And My Team is basically like of the ultimate team concept that has been in FIFA, Madden, and pretty much ruined every sports gaming franchise for the last 15 years once they found out they could monetize this shit as an extra way. And it's loaded with microtransactions. And it's basically like a roulette wheel and a easy way to get more money out of you, and is a complete scam and that nobody should ever really spend money on. When I play it, I usually play no money spent and just build my team up naturally. They have ways that you can progress against the computer, and then you can take your teams online. They come up with all these various things or whatever. But last year, they had the WNBA players, like, you could be a coach or whatever. And it was like, oh, you'll get a special boost. You can shoot a three-pointer a little better if, like, Sabrina Ionescu is your coach or something, right? You see them on the sideline, stuff like that. But now they was like, fuck it. We're putting the WNBA players in there, and you can add them to your My Team. They dropped the commercial today, had Paige Beckers in it, kind of doing a voiceover narration. There was a few different chopped up clips of them. Featured Angel Reese, featured, I saw Asia Wilson in there.
Asia Wilson was in a Heat jersey, and she threw up a oop to Bam. They nasty.
Saw Caitlin Clark and Tyrese Halliburton with the Stranger Things Fever jerseys on.
Them jerseys
I saw
hard,
KD.
by the way.
Yeah, they're hard. They need to come out with a matching floor. I was saying, like,
yeah, that'd
like,
be cool.
They need to get on that.
Especially when yeah, it probably is bound to look like some crazy ass in-season tournament court. There was also, they had Devin Booker and Nafisa Collier together, like in like the late 90s, like teal Pistons jerseys, like the Grant Hills. I was like, what is this? They had Shaq and Angel Reese together in Chicago Sky joints. They had LeBron and Paige Beckers in like the black Valkyrie jerseys. They had Paige Beckers and Cooper Flag in like the Mavs jerseys, the white Mavs jerseys. Yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. Like, I saw one where it had who was it? Somebody blew by Tony Parker. I can't remember who it was, but somebody,
it was Sabrina.
It may have been Paige. It may have been Paige.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah,
because they had Paige in a bunch of different jerseys or whatever else. But blew by Tony Parker, and Parker was wearing a cap, like a Cavs throwback. I was like, this is nasty. So, like,
that's like a part of the mode too. It's like you unlock different jerseys, courts, whatever, and you can combine it all basically to make whatever the fuck you want.
Okay. So, my main thing is
Storm jersey, nasty.
Yeah, they had the Storm jersey. Yes, they did. They did. I don't remember seeing Steph in it. I don't remember seeing Anthony Edwards in it either.
I saw one with Steph. Actually, no, I saw Caitlin Clark with a Warriors jersey on.
Okay.
Like she was Steph, essentially, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's man.
How can we get to the jokes?
Yeah. Like, and in order for them to do that, they're gonna just basically, whatever their ratings are in the vacuum of the WNBA, should just port over to when they play.
They are.
They should. They absolutely should. So, like, Angel Reese should, in theory, when you get out the box, be the best rebounder in all of the My Team shit. Because she's the best rebounder by far in W, right? And then, like like Cameron Brink should be the best shot blocker. Her and Wembanyama should be going band for best blocker and best shot blocker in this thing.
I was watching Cam Brink block shots the other day. I think it was against a Fever. I was like, bro, she's being unleashed. Like, she like Bill Russell out here, bro.
And she fresh off a torn up knee too,
bro.
This is like her first week or week and a half back and some shit. I'll see her beating shit with two hands like it's like she's like Wilt Chamberlain in NBA Street Volume 2. Nigga, two hands. Get out of here. Yeah, it was nuts. So yeah, man, for my main thing is like when they port that shit over, you NBA players that gotta stream whatever else, do not play the intergender shit on my team because y'all gonna let the mask slip and y'all gonna lose y'all mind and say something inappropriate or something that's gonna get y'all fucked up because, you know, somebody's gonna get crossed up and be like, get the fuck out of here, and they gonna say shit, you know, along the lines of, you know, they can't even beat a fucking college team, which is true, but ain't nobody trying to hear that. So yeah, man, just leave it alone.
I have decided this year, I think I'm going to get it, and you know what's about to happen, James? I'm firing the men. I'm putting all women out there. What I always do is enrage niggas out that they out here getting their ass bust. The W players.
Are there any cutscenes where like where you can bring to a fight in 2K?
Nah.
Okay, because like I would like to see Draymond versus Aaliyah Boston. I would like to see like when you port over the toughness number or whatever else. Like who's tougher? I would like to know.
The funny shit is gonna be like when it's like, so they release different cards and packs throughout the season. They'll have themes like holidays. They have time of the year. Just other shit too. They be like, all right, when that 99 diamond Caitlin Clark's drop, and then she's taking off and bamming on a bitch, like it's gonna get real ugly out here when she's dunking on Rudy Gobert and somebody uploading that shit.
Look, man, I've already seen that on clips on Twitter of WNBA players out here, like LeBron dunking the shit with the arm caught back, and I'm like, all right, man, what are y'all doing? I saw the other day somebody did this thing of like making Wembanyama like 15 feet tall, and he's going down fast break dunks. I'm like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing modding games like this? What the fuck is like? Because I used to do that when I was a kid. Like, you create a player on like 2K on Dreamcast, and you make them like 8 feet tall or whatever else and all that shit. Cool, fine, whatever. Now it's like, you gotta actually like break code to be able to do all that shit. That's a whole different thing. They don't let you, like, Kermit Brown, they don't let you make a creative player all 99 no more, do they? You gotta pay for that, right?
So you can make it and use it offline, but the online, player, you gotta
okay. I thought you just
gotta either pay to win on that, or you gotta build it up. And building it up is like way too much fucking time.
I thought you had to pay for any of it, not just okay. You know. I thought even for offline you had to pay for it, but okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but
I tell you, that shit I used to do on 2K on Dreamcast, man. Look. Rasheed Wallace, Kevin Garnett, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, all Los Angeles Lakers. Move you over here, move you over here, move you over here, move you over here, and we just would have beat their ass. Oh, I can't hear you, Rich.
It was like, all right, I think I made myself as the point guard. The center was like Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell.
Wow.
I don't know who the fuck the small forward was. Small forward might have been Kevin Garnett, because I remember in
I used to do that too.
2001, he used to be able to do the spin move or whatever, and then that shit was like overpowered or whatever. And then Jordan, and I'm the point guard or whatever.
Okay.
And then, just run, bro. It's just absolutely nasty teams. Like, I used to just put together and just like, all right, this is gonna be my franchise team.
Nasty.
And then other times I would be like, all right, I'll put all the legends in a fantasy draft pool or whatever. Like in Madden, I just took like the whole league and did a fantasy draft, and like, I'm in the third year. So yeah, I'm big on that. I'll do like a fantasy draft and then build some crazy team or whatever. But with my team, it's a little different because like they give you like the base players. They'll give you like one player that's good, couple players that you can do something with, and then they'll make some of the tasks you got to do really easy to basically. It's like you're walking into a casino. They let you win a little bit at first or whatever. It's easy.
Right.
They give you like a little bit of taste. Oh, here's another little bit better player, and it builds that appetite for you to just be like,
and then
man, what if I got another 99 person overall on the team?
Okay.
What if I got this guy and whatever? And then like they'll drop these cards that'll break the game. They be like, yeah, nigga, the hybrid center point guard version of Yao Ming, like, and it's like Yao Ming with point guard skills, and it's like, all right, man, this is fucked up. Like this shit ain't supposed to be happening. And then they'll take like role players and be like, yeah, that one time they had a career high, this is their card based on that career high or whatever. So you were facing off against, such and such. I remember in 2K16 when Kobe went for 60, they was like, we're dropping the 60-point game, Kobe Bryant, and it was like 100 overall or some shit like that.
That's nasty.
So like I can imagine the type of lunacy this is gonna cause when they were like, yeah, nigga, here is the 2024 Asia Wilson, nigga. What you gonna do with it? Like,
yeah. If you're like, damn, this is like, how you make them jokes all the time. Like, this is like she like last year, like she played like bubble AD. That's who she was. She was Anthony Davis in the bubble, like just shooting, like incredible. Like the way that she made every single shot it seemed was nuts last year, and like. I remember beginning of this year, I was like, hey, Rich, like, she just looks weird as fuck. And then, like, her numbers have straightened out, like, her shooting percentage anyway. But, like, at that point in time when I was freaking out about her, like, she was, like, top 5 in, like, 3 or 4 statistical categories in the league, leading. And I was like, all right, maybe I'm just tripping about the shot. And then, she's had some, like, 35 and 15 games over the last couple weeks. But, yeah, man,
Black Saber Jr. says they gave Corey Brewer a 98 overall after he had 51 time. Yeah, like they be doing that shit like where you find a sorry person that they boosted up and you buy him for a low amount. They'd be like, hold on, why is Alexis Ajinka from the Bobcats like a 95 overall? Let me get him just in case. Like, and then you go online, everybody's playing with those cards. It's fucking weird, bro. It's another fucking world inside the game.
You said
it's like, nah, I'm not running with the regular teams. You go over there for the Wild West shit.
Now, he said that they gave Corey Brewer a 98 after one game he had 50. No other time he would have been rated 98?
College.
No. Game 6 against the Clippers in 2014 or 15.
He was on that Rockets team?
Him and Josh Smith made them shots when Harden was on the bench.
I always think of Josh Smith. I always associate that with like Josh Smith.
And Josh Smith were the ones that were making the threes during that comeback. When they had set James Harden and James Harden had his
Josh Smith would have for sure got a My Team card out of that.
Yeah, that was the fake. Look, restart the game. The video game is cheating. 2 of the worst volume 3-point shooters of all time are knocking out everything under the sun. All right, man.
Amazing, bro. So, I plan to, I'm trying to collect me a Paige Beckers. I need me a Caitlin Clark. I need me Cam Brink at the rim. I need Nafisa Collier, to play both ways. You know
who would have been a really good card? When whatever week when J.R. Smith's hot, oh my God, that's 100. When that nigga out here giving you 30 off the bench or whatever else, oh, that's 100. That's a 100 play right there, bro. You think of some of the nasty. He's one of the greatest shooters of all time, right? Even though at the time we were like, why are you shooting so fucking much? He was actually ahead of the game with it, and then he had some of the filthiest dunks you've ever seen from like a not big wing, like just. That dude is a video game 2K live all-star. Like, wing
Gerald
that can
Green.
shoot. Gerald Jason Richardson. Yep. Exactly.
Yo.
Wasn't it name you beat with Stephen Bell? Was that the nigga from the Bobcats you beat with that one time?
Stephen Graham?
Stephen Graham, that's who it was.
Stephen Graham.
That shit there. That was some bullshit. Rich is so much better
I
than video games.
like 31, I scored like 31 points with him.
Yeah.
What's up?
I was telling the story like this nigga Rich one time. He's so much better than me in video games that like I played with like the Cavs or the Lakers and shit. He beat me with the fucking Bobcats.
I did in like 2K9 or some shit.
Yeah.
2K10.
Yep.
But nah, that shit. Because the code used to be like basically like in 2K9 was everyone could drive right. or whatever, like Gerald Wallace, or if you get the Bobcats, right, you had the two Africans or whatever. You had Lexus Ajinka and Desanya Jop, and you could defend the rim because the dunking in like
Africans. Oh my god!
I swear, bro, they both went to Florida. Solomon Alibi, he was on the bench too.
He went to Florida State. Yeah,
it was Solomon Alibi and Desanya Jop.
Yeah.
So you had three bigs essentially to guard the rim or whatever because the driving to the rim and dunking was so overpowered. It's like if you could stop that, you could basically, alter enough shots or whatever. You could, if you had an athletic forward, if you had Corey Maggette, if you had LeBron James, if you had Gerald Wallace, if you had Stephen Graham like I did, if you had Kobe Bryant, all you had to do was drive right in the right hand, movement. It's so overpowered.
Over and over again.
Yes. So like, I would camp them two big fuckers in the lane and like we beating everything at the rim. I wish you could do shit like that in a game now. It's different. Like it's just a whole lot of
I stopped playing the game when they changed it from where you could basically just like just work a big wing to death. A big explosive wing to death to get all your points. And then once they changed it, I was like, I ain't playing this shit no more. It ain't for me no more.
They're like, yeah, you get tired now.
If I can't score 90% of my points to LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, there's no point in playing this anymore. I'm done. Fuck it.
So, I definitely look forward. I'm pulling out the all-women's team. Whenever I get I guess I got to do it. Whenever I buy the 2K, and I don't want to keep giving 2K my money because it's
stream that versus Kirby.
Game. Oh my god! And yeah, I'm bringing out the girls today. Right. You bring who you want. Right. We handling them. You're like, that's not real. I'm like, shit.
That's exactly. That's why it's funny. It's absurd.
Like, yeah, dude, I got Jonquil Jones back here. Oh, you didn't know she was wet out there, huh? Like, they gonna let the stud buzz be in the game, James?
Oh my god.
They gotta have a pink. They gotta make sure it's all right.
They fucking 5'8" in the NBA, like playing NBA players. Yeah. That's fucking hilarious, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, bro. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. But yeah.
Shit! Courtney Williams just crossed over Trae Young.
Oh shit! Nah. I'm gonna have Michael Porter Jr. and then like just all the women, the all W players, and Michael Porter Jr.
Do we need to talk about this nigga? What is he doing?
We can. Absolutely. So I found out this nigga has a YouTube channel.
What?
I was actually watching. Yeah, he has like one of those.
Who allowed that?
He has one of these like think tank YouTube channels. And you know what I say think tank for. This man, like clearly one of those, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We knew that. We knew that in his rookie year.
Yeah, Curious Mike. Or whatever. Yeah, that's what this shit is called.
Curious
And I think he's stopping it, whatever. But there's like tons of like vlog footage and, he's trying to cultivate this community. People can disagree and all this other bullshit, right? I just think it's kind of popped up out of nowhere. The stuff has accumulated for him. People have gathered the facts and the footage and the data on this man over the years, and then we putting the shit together now, and it's like, dude, we should have seen this the whole time. It's not right.
We did. I said he was a damn idiot during his rookie year. You remember what?
That nigga leaked Adam Silver's number and shit.
Yeah, that happened. Yes, it did. Bro, there was so much. You said the think tank thing. Doesn't he? I don't know if that's part of the podcast he was doing at one point. I don't know if it was. Is it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it may all be on there.
There was a clip going around for a couple years now, where he was interviewing Lana Rhodes, a porn star, and she was talking about I get paid, it's strange, the whole business is strange. I sign up and then I meet this guy that I don't find attractive. I meet him, and I'm gonna fuck him 15 minutes. That's kind of crazy, right? And then Michael Porter Jr.'s like, yeah, that's crazy, and it's like, you know how you NBA niggas get down. You don't think that's crazy. You think that's perfectly fine. You playing the shit off. So it's like,
Look,
like people talking about it.
The funny thing about that clip is like the way it's presented to you. The last person you expect to see is Michael Porter Jr.
Right.
Like the whole thing starts with like Lana Rose talking, and it's like she's talking to someone, but you can't see who it is.
Right.
So she doesn't look like her normal self. Let's just say she's very dressed down. Like she's like. She has like a unique kind of bob haircut or whatever. It's like it's almost like she's dressed to go to church or something or whatever, right? So she's talking, okay. She's like basically being very vulgar or whatever, and she says it in those plain terms.
Yeah,
and
right.
then they cut the camera, and then it's like, what the fuck is she talking to Michael Porter Jr. for? He's like, yeah, that shit wild. Like he
added nothing to the conversation whatsoever in that clip. Nothing.
Yeah.
Like, why are you even here? Why is this your podcast? This should be her podcast.
The newest thing where he's like, yeah, my brother, he basically got this gambling addiction, and he can't handle money, and he don't get no hoes like me. I got the hoes or whatever, but he didn't get them. God, my vice is women. This is what he was saying. I'm like, bro, like the nigga's unintentionally hilarious.
Then
his brother was a gambler,
right? That kept the league, and ever since he got kept in the league, not for the second I found out that his brother got banned from the league for gambling games. I've been saying this off air. I may have said it a couple times on here. Ever since then, I've been like, there is no way that nigga ain't been gambling too. And then he went out there on like some show, whatever else, and a clip came out of him saying like, yeah, I hear for some scenarios where like, if you underperform or whatever else, you can get your friend a bag for $10,000, whatever else. And I was like, there is no way that, given what I know and I've heard from Michael Porter Jr., that he just came up with a scenario off the top of his head and he's like on a whim. It's like, oh yeah, this people could just do this. People could just get the over. It's like, no. And ever since he fucked off in Game 7 or the West Conference, against the Timberwolves at the crib as a defending champion, I've been saying to Rich every time, this nigga was gambling. He threw that game, and now after seeing that, like, there's more and more stuff that I'm like, there's no way he didn't sell that game off. There's no way he did not just take a ring from Nikola Jokic. So I've been on this nigga. And now that he in Brooklyn, and they don't care about winning games. Because it's Michael Porter Jr.
Oh my God, that man was prime target. He's like, what if I just shoot a little bit to the left this night? Like, or whatever. It just comes off a little bit. I take a little bit off it tonight, Pull up lame a little bit. They say I got a bad back. Oh, my back's tightening up, coach. Everybody bet the unders? Oh, okay, I'm out of this bitch in less than 3 minutes. It's going to be nasty.
I remember his rookie year. He had that crazy dunk in the bubble, right? And then they played against the Lakers, and LeBron went out there and targeted that nigga on every possession that he had the ball. And he was like, "Oh, we switching every screen to get this nigga on to me, and I'm gonna just blow by him. He's clueless. He has no idea what he's doing out here." And remember, Michael Malone didn't want to play him for forever, for like the first 2 years. They're like, you just don't get it yet. And then they paid him that money, and then. The last 2 years are going the way it's going, and they're like, yeah, Michael Malone, you all right. We shouldn't have paid this nigga this money. Get him out of here. So yeah, man, this he is a knucklehead or dummy of the NBA of the moment right now. There's always one where we point and laugh at one particular guy. Michael Porter Jr. just had to be the one. Like, he used to be back in the day with J.R. Smith. Now it's him.
Yeah. And unfortunately, like, I think with Michael Porter Jr. is like, there's no element of, it's all accidental. Like with him, it's like, he thinks he's self-aware, but it's like he's not. Like, so it's like there's a weird area with him because obviously there's political stuff in there, and then there's like just like him being in the NBA for like 7 years at this point. And then,
oh my God, yeah.
And bro, the other day I saw like an old picture of him and Nafisa Collier together or whatever, because then I was like, oh yeah, she's from St. Louis, Missouri. That's where he's fucking from or whatever. So like, and they're like the same like kind of age or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it was when they was like either high schoolers or whatever the fuck. But Yeah,
Keep what I know Nafisa Collier and like her like like she's like her family's Black history. So it's like keep her away from Michael Porter Jr. Not on some I'm worried about them having a relationship, like a romantic relationship. Like, no, keep away because like just he might infect the room with stupidity. Like just you know, like yeah, you might spread COVID, might spread dummy. So nah, keep them away from each other. Can't afford that. But yeah, I guess where do you want to go from here, Rich?
Yeah, let's talk about AEW, man.
Okay.
So last night they were in Cincinnati, Ohio, Andrew J. Brady Music Center. This is where they were earlier this year. Turned out, so this show was like I had trouble paying attention to some of it. I thought some of it drug. There was, I thought the main event was largely a nothing main event. I'm ready for the ops to actually do something with those trios belts, or it's like, okay, they're just using the trios belts how they always use them. It was exciting when they changed the belts and stuff like that, but nothing really much there. This thing really is kind of carried by, I think, the first, couple minutes of this show and that 8-man tag. The thing started with the Hangman Page and MJF promo. Basically, we got the Forbidden Door match between them for the AEW Championship confirmed. This is the biggest match, in the rivalry they've had of their careers.
Yeah.
And all the way it's made it to it makes it seem like they held this thing off. They didn't burn through it, for years and years to wait for it to do it at a time where you're actually pushing these two as like, some of the featured acts on the show. I thought that Hangman Page was really incredible during this first promo. Pretty much chewed up MJF in a few lines when he first started going, and basically was like, "Yo, that get out here with that edgelord and incel shit." Like, and it was pretty funny. I thought MJF, conducted himself, pretty well. Like, when you're trying to gaslight a bitch, this was like this was a blueprint on how to do so. When he said, "Well, it's good and bad, it's a matter of perspective. He's not a problem." If I learned anything about God, and seeing everything he does in the world, I asked him basically, like, he's not all good, so why would you be all good? Like, I thought, there was a lot of unique things that they played on. Eventually, he used MJF's own ego against him to basically, give up, to cash in the briefcase. We have to worry about no money in the bank bullshit. And we got the match made. I thought this was pretty good.
I thought this was hell, I might as well say great. I love this. It's good MJF and his Hangman. Like, he's on his best behavior when he's, in there. Like, I like when MJF, like, stops being a hack when he's in front of people like Will Ospreay and Hangman Page. So, I thought it was great. I like it, the part where he gets goaded into, he blows the stack and he, gives up the contract and quote unquote blows it on the O2 for Forbidden Door, and then he immediately like regrets it because he blew his temper. It was reminiscent of the thing with Ospreay before Wembley last year, where he goes, I had, they started cheering for you instead of me, and he made that face of like, fuck, the mask is dropped. Like, I liked it.
Yeah.
So, he just, when he's not doing the lazy shit, he's really good. And that's the part that's annoying. Like, he could be like, it's night and day between, and it's funny because like this was the stuff with Mark Briscoe set up to get him heat for the Page stuff. And it's like, when he does the, the pickle, him and Mark Briscoe doing the small pickle shit and, calling all types of white trash, and then he does this when Page is like, there's clearly a fucking difference.
That shit.
Clearly a fucking difference.
Is that like the same equivalent? Like, all right, well, if I feel like if it's two niggas and one of them call each other a coon, like, you got to fight. Like, if you a white man and another white man calls you white trash, like you instantly have to fight. Like what is the what is the code of conduct there?
Well, I don't think that's exactly.
I always laugh when I hear a white guy call another white guy white trash, and it started with Scott Steiner. Like that's just always funny.
I mean, I find it hilarious, but like but it's not completely like a 1-to-1 comparison between those two because like you said calling someone that. A coon compared to white trash a little different. Like if you want to, I'm not even gonna get into it. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Like it's like being like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. I'm sorry, chat. Sorry, listeners. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Too many white people. Sorry, not gonna do it. But yeah, man. It is just like. It pops me every time I hear like in wrestling. I hear people call people white trash. Like it always pops me when The Rock called Austin white trash. It always works. There's never. It's like when Darby's been out here been jump zoning people and calling people white trash. Always pops me in pro wrestling. It's never not worked for me.
Yeah. So up next, we basically got this. They showed Darby Allin kidnapping Wheeler Yuta from last week.
Jump zone.
And
jump zone.
For Forbidden Door. Mox said that's not happening, and then basically came out to the ring. And then we got set for a match with Jon Moxley and Kevin Knight. And as we kind of were alluding to earlier in the show, Jon Moxley is like decided to be like, all right, I'm a Hall of Famer again. Like,
that's crazy. Bro.
And Kevin Knight is in there, with him and. Last 2 weeks, Mox has wrestled jet speed guys, and at first I was like, all right, this guy just lost a belt. What are we doing here? It's over push. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll shut the fuck up. Like I don't, it changed my mind or whatever. But I thought this was another excellent match for Jon Moxley and Kevin Knight. Obviously, has been a huge addition this year, and he's earmarked. I feel like for huge things in this company, and it's like you look at him, you hear the talking or whatever, you can see the wrestling, the getting over, and he has the blueprint of like early Tony Khan push that people like Kyle Fletcher used to have. Mm-hmm. People basically they would like Swerve used to have, like they would be on,
bring you in, and they would have great matches against the upper echelon of AEW, and you lose for a while, and then eventually they're gonna try to get people. They're gonna figure out a way to get the crowd to care about you. Like I can see him and Speedball both like they should be Fletcher opponents, like on pay-per-view opponents with the TNT title. If they get to that, because I know TNT doesn't really get defended as much on the pay-per-view. Like big opponents for Fletcher should be them.
So this was like a lot of like throwing strikes back and forth, showing the toughness. Yeah. Then Kevin Knight eventually had to get athletic, get vertical, because that's what he does.
Bro, the floor to apron to missile drop or John Woo dropkick was fucking nuts. Like nigga, like he got shot, like he got catapulted off the apron. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, we need Kevin Knight in the C2 this year.
That'd be fun.
So like they this thing kind of culminates basically with Speedball and Marina getting involved. But this whole thing went to
can we talk about the abduction?
What's up?
So like Yuta tried to get involved and he ended up getting super kicked while Knight was on the apron, and then like he ended up getting back to the crowd, and then like like fucking Darby just pulled up and then grabbed a towel. Do we have to assume that the towel has chloroform, because he also got Moxley out of there the week before the same way, right?
Yes.
You have to assume it's something on the snuff that's smothering these dudes. He just put over his face and dragged him to the back. That shit was hilarious. It's like he's abducting niggas. Like that shit, evil motherfuckers. Just hilarious. But yeah, man,
Moxley broke out this new choke that he hadn't used before. I think this looks way better. So did Jeremy than a bulldog choke. This shit was like
they both work. So
yeah. So after that, Basically, Speedball had to break that shit up, but then Yuta took him down, gave him some elbows, sent him out the ring. Marina was going to finish him off, but then Darby's music hit. Darby brought a body bag out there and a skateboard down the ramp. He basically, Kevin Knight then got back involved, drop kicked Moxley to the floor. Darby jumped Wheeler Yuta, put him in the body bag, and then he went up for the top, but then Claudio showed up, of course, took out Darby, put him in the bag, gave him the fucking UFO spin, drops him while he's still in the bag, all this other shit, and then all of a sudden, Sarah's favorite wrestler, Will Ospreay, arrived and basically was like, Wheeler Yuta and Claudio is on. He showed up with the chair, and, it got real English in there. He said he's going to snap Moxley's neck. He said, bring your friends to London because I'm going to bring some friends too. And I was like, oh, Lord. I was immediately gonna basically take the part from Big Papa, and I was like, I'm not sending no Diddy out on my timeline. You get your friends, I'm going to get my friends. On the weekend, we could be friends. All that. Is that okay with you? Like, nah, I was going to skip all that.
You know what you do? This is how I handle it now. Anything involving Biggie, because Diddy's all in the videos and all that kind of shit. Any gifts, whatever else, I just type into it the same thing in parentheses, either minus Diddy or no Diddy. It is press play. It's like when someone was talking about women listening to the Clips album on yachts, and I was like, luxury rap on boats, and that was a picture of Hypnotized and them doing the back and forth like this, and I was like, parentheses, no, minus Diddy.
He basically said we can have a lights out steel cage match. I heard that shit. I damn near wanted to jump out of the chair. I was like, lights out steel cage match. All right. I was like, is he gonna bring in the United Empire guys or whatever? I'm like, who the fuck are Will Ospreay's friends? And then, in a long running Tunnel Talk storyline, like this man Will Ospreay apparently has gathered all the friends, the super friends, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Then we got the trios women match, Mercedes Moné, Tekla, and Sky Blue against Windsor, Queen Emanata, and Willow Nightingale.
Yep.
And it showed Athena and Toni Storm in different corners of the arena,
yep,
reacting very a cartoon fashion.
Before the match, before Toni and Athena came out, they brought the Hills out first. And they brought Mercedes out first, and then the Triangle Madness, what they're calling them, come out, and they all go hands together in the center of the ring while they, pray to Satan or something. I don't know. All of a sudden, Mercedes she break this shit up. She grabbed hands with him and it turned to a square, and I fucking died laughing. It's like this, man, break this shit up. Like, look, you want to involve me in the evil? I want to be evil too. Involve me in the evil.
See, Mercedes wore the hair extra, there was like a little evil twist to it, but freaking so they have this trios match or whatever.
She's like, hey, I can be here. I'm half evil anyway.
Yeah. So
I will not elaborate. Either you figure out the joke or you don't.
Right. I think Alex Windsor is in a great job getting over in a short time. I think the Windsor thing is taking off, especially online.
The tango stuff with Toni Storm is just fucking hilarious. Like, yeah.
So more good workers. Like, and you look in this ring, there's so much color. There's these defined characters, and it's like, the women figure this stuff out in a way that I don't think the guys always do. It's like, how do I stand out? How do I be unique? And they have all this less time to do it. So I want to give a shout out to all of them for kind of all really putting their fingerprints on all this stuff. Even Sky Blue, who we can see by far is the worst wrestler in this match or whatever, right?
But in multi-person matches, she doesn't suck. Well, except for the week before when she fucked up a code red or whatever else on the floor. But outside of that,
always thinking about her presentation, trying to change something up or whatever. So you gotta try stuff. So shout out to her. And Tekla, I've seen people surprised that Tekla has done as well as she has in AEW, but she was tailor made to come into AEW, and I just think they were worked by the Stardom stuff. And it
depends
connected us from OBS, but we'll be back. Go ahead, James.
Okay, I guess maybe it's they thought about they're thinking of like the end when they're finding the way out when she's doing the like the idol killer thing maybe, and it's a lot of obscenity and it's a lot of like work shoot stuff. So maybe that was off-putting or whatever else. But it's like, I mean, we saw her in her Donna Del Mono run. Like she's a versatile act. It just, you didn't like what she was doing this particular moment, and I don't, I wasn't necessarily watching it, so I if you didn't like it, I get it, whatever else. But like, I feel like she had been in Stardom long enough and done enough good stuff before even Stardom, like in the stuff I saw her do, like when she was doing spots and ceiling, whatever else, was like or an ice ribbon or whatever else. Is like, I feel like you should give her the benefit of the doubt if you've seen her long enough.
Right. And we are back on the stream now. Sorry, guys. Sometimes OBS acts up. But I think Tekla, like, being this kind of made for AEW kind of character, obviously a quick work, like she's a high speed person kind of, right. I think by default.
Right.
So like people are going to be drawn to her. She has a great look, super charismatic, and like looks like a star. Like when I say looks like a star, like the gear matches up, the presentation, like with the music, like goes, like everything makes sense with Tekla. Like there's no obvious hole that she's missing. Like,
and she immediately comes in, and like even without necessarily like getting time to talk about like their issue or their grudge or whatever else, like her and Amanada come in and just beating the shit out of each other. Like this works.
Yep.
Like a lot of the stuff when it comes down to it is like, Can you just go in there and make believable like you and one person just got smoke off rip, and then eventually we'll get and we'll explain it afterwards or whatever else. But like for the meantime, because the women's division does not get as many minutes as the men's side. Like, can you make the most of your minutes? I feel like her and Amanada together have made the most of their minutes. Like commentary every single time they're putting these matches, these combinations, or whatever else, they're already pointing out like these two do not fuck with each other. And then you see them go out there and hit each other like they don't fuck with each other. Like there's something there, obviously.
Right. They basically set up this tag. What's her name? Ends up submitting. Sky Blue taps out to the Scorpion Deathlock from Alex Windsor. So Alex Windsor basically wins the match with another move here. Next week in Glasgow, Scotland, Alex Windsor and Toni Storm against Monet and Athena. So
and they've been setting
turn me up, dog.
They've been setting it up well over the last 2 weeks as far as like Mercedes or selling those two matches of like Windsor like challenging Mercedes in the 4-way, and she's a challenger that people know right now. And then you have the Toni and Athena thing, and then like the friendship of Toni, or the allyship of Toni and Windsor, like leading to like this like begrudging like alliance that's coming between Athena and Mercedes, where they're like, we remember that match we had each other earlier in the year, but we're both evil and we got white women to beat up. So like let's put that to the side for now.
Clearly the bond here.
I mean, I remember when about 2 years ago, you were like, "Is Athena's gimmick? She just beats up white women." So it's like, okay,
yes, it was like. I'm sorry. Look, when she says she's here to beat up the porcelain hussies, she doesn't really leave much room for the.
She didn't start saying it. She didn't start saying it until maybe like a few months after you came to that conclusion, though. You saw it, or you envisioned it for at least for the joke before she came along to that. Yes.
Once again, Richard Latta inspiring the best of the pro wrestling business. Who knew? Let's go down the list. No.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, Shadow Booker. Yeah. Oh man. Look, man, I've gotten stuff through before. But. Yeah, so we went backstage with Will Ospreay, and he was with Renee, and he's on the phone or whatever, and then he basically, said, I know it's awkward, I got to talk to you about it, Renee, or whatever, but, it's not feeling Forbidden Dory enough in here. So I'm calling in a special favor. I got some friends. I got Hiroshi Tanahashi, and then the whole crowd pops.
Yes.
And then I immediately just start thinking like Hiroshi Tanahashi is about to be in a double cage or a damn lights out cage match or whatever in England, and like this man is out here about to like this is probably the last AEW match. Like Tanahashi's been an essential part of Forbidden Door or whatever, and then I think Jon Moxley basically sells that later on.
Right.
And then I'm like, is this nigga about to try to high fly flow off this fucking cage? Like is he gonna go up there and do Randy the Ram? Is he gonna do my dad as a heel wrestler for real?
You are a sick fuck. Like, why does your mind go to that?
What do I expect? I expect the ace to be the ace.
You expect the ace to be the ace, but you didn't think about the logistics of that. First off, in order for him to jump off a cage, he has to be able to climb it. Do you trust Hiroshi Tanahashi to climb a cage at this stage with his knees?
Look,
are Omega and Ospreay and Ibushi gonna get your ass up, shove him up there? Is that what's going on?
Climb them like a ladder. He's gonna climb them up like a ladder, and what he's gonna do is basically go up there, and man's gonna put that one finger in the air to signify 1 in 100 years. And then he gonna take off. And that's gonna be the last. And the screen gonna go black. That's all. We don't even need to see. Look, I know Tanahashi gonna do a blade job. Oh my god, it's gonna be great.
So
it's gonna be great.
The part that was funny for me. The part that was extra funny for me was like he was on the phone with Ospreay, and every time Ospreay was on the phone allegedly with Tanahashi, and I'm like, okay, so like you know what? That actually checks out. Like the time difference actually checks out during that time of the day of the night over here. It actually is the morning over there, so it actually was possible. So he didn't fuck up. That actually works. So I'm like, good job on that one. Now, me believing the Ospreay and Tanahashi on the phone, they talk to each other, they understand each other. Absolutely the fuck not. But at least the phone call I can buy is actually at the right time.
So we got the full team announced is basically Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi. That's right, Kota Ibushi on Forbidden Door.
That Fire Pro ass lineup. What the fuck is
Ospreay.
this?
Did I say all the names?
Yes.
Is Tanahashi, Ospreay, Omega, Ibushi, Darby Allin.
Golden Lovers. Look, Golden Lovers, Golden Aces, Ospreay, and Darby Allin. What?
Bro,
what?
This is an ROPW All-Star team right here. This is crazy. I just seen that match announcement. You talk about like the graphics that just break like the internet essentially. When that graphic drop, I immediately pulled like my phone out and took a picture of the TV and just sent it, everywhere it needed to go. And then I was just like, wow. Like knowing like, okay, this is how Kenny Omega and Tanahashi are going to get the team up one last time or whatever. Ibushi's in there with Tanahashi, knowing the wars they've had.
Right.
Their relationship. Darby Allin and Hiroshi Tanahashi talking strategy. Will Ospreay being around all these fucking like heroes of his or whatever. And then Ospreay and Darby Allin like in England and, they're kind of contemporaries. And then it's like
on the other side is the Young Bucks.
Right, and the
versus Golden Lovers.
Yes, so it's like, bro, and then Gabe Kidd's in there. He's fucking nuts. And then, also Gabe Kidd, no G1, but for Forbidden Door, I'm good to go.
No, I got one for you. Right, Tanahashi doing all that crime for Gabe Kidd for losing to Kenny Omega, and then when it comes down to who he teaming with, he's teaming with Kenny Omega on the other side. He finna fight Gabe Kidd.
Amazing. Oh, and then Moxley and Claudio are in there for chaos, and I think the Bucks are gonna like basically stitch together a masterpiece, because you got Will Ospreay who's banged up, you got Ibushi and Omega in there who may or may not be limited depending on whatever, but Tanahashi obviously very limited at this stage, but.
It's 10 people. It's gonna work. It's 10 people, and most of them are geniuses.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it's gonna work. And like, bro, Now you said the whole shit about, you made that whole setup about him jumping off the Tanahashi jumping off the cage. Now what happens when he jumps off the cage and he catches that fucking European uppercut from Cesaro or Claudio and he fucking dies in the ring?
What if that man jumps and then was waiting for him is not like a person, but they move the fuck out the way and it's them spikes. You know, that's that they had that spike bed that they have.
Oh my god!
Look, Tanahashi either he's gonna do one of these. He's either blading,
dive off the cage to a double super kick,
or he jumping off. Oh yeah, he's getting a double super kick for sure. Yeah. Do you expect Claudio to swing this man?
I mean, he's swinging somebody. He's swinging somebody.
Yeah.
Moxley gonna do something disgusting to his body. You know that's gonna happen.
Severus Rogan said if Tana runs the blade, it's 6 stars automatically. Oh, I already know Kenny Omega's gonna do some absurd shit in here. This is a hell of a match, and I think this if it's lights out, it might be going on last. So
it needs
I don't
to
know.
if it's lights out.
Yeah. So
what's supposed to follow that? Think of the star power involved. Man. Is there another match with more star power?
No.
Moxley, the Young Bucks, Will Ospreay, Darby Allin, Kenny Omega.
Tough. It's tough. And I don't know, man. I was very happy with this match when I saw it. I saw Gabe Kidd in there. I think he's gonna do, probably gonna be limited to some extent too, also with that leg, but maybe he pulls that Kevin Nash or just stands up out the wheelchair and I'm good to go. Did they clear the lights out aspect of this with the IWGP? Did you think Will made a call there as well, or no?
I don't know what an international wrestling Grand Prix had to say about lights out. I don't know.
Yeah, you think Hiroshi Tanahashi even knows what the fuck a lights out match is? He's like, hold on, what kind of match did you sign me up for, Will?
No. Oh, in kayfabe? No. It's like no. I was not watching. I was not watching the Florida Territories, brother. No.
Zach says Tana is the IWGP.
He's on the. He's a part of it. You can't. He's
also in that Illuminati. That Japanese wrestling Illuminati. So
yes, he is. With Teo Nakano and Mayu Iwatani and Kenta Kobashi and all them. Yeah. Muto. Yeah.
How mad is Keiji Muto that he didn't get to do this? I know he got to come to AEW and he did an appearance with Sting. Is to actually get in there and do some shit like this.
Nah, he too old.
Muto would have loved it.
Muto lazy, so he wouldn't have wanted to have no hard match. No way. So whatever. At this stage, he late. So he's like, I don't want to do that. I want to come out, spit miss, and leave with Sting. Now, do you ever hear Sting talk about Muto?
Nah, not really.
Sting, oh my God! Sting said that he would be talking about Muto about trying to lay out matches backstage, and Muto you tell him some stuff, and it's similar to the Naito thing when people say when you call a match Naito be out here be like, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. He out here just sandbagging all your ideas, but it was instead of that, it was Muto would be sitting there smoking a cigarette. He go, "Ooh no, I blow up." He said, "Oh no, I blow up." Hey, I don't want to do no hard shit. I blow up. And Muto's fucking hilarious. The story about Muto and Sting is fucking hilarious, bro.
That's great.
He's like, "Nah, man, I didn't come to America to work hard. What are you talking about? Yeah. Get out of here."
The fuck? So
pull up, get Nelson Senior taste of what I had to do over there. You think I want to do that over here? No.
But this match was met with universal applause and euphoria on the timeline. And I expect, a fucking great match. So,
Zach said Muto would make young boy Darby take all his bumps. Look, man, when Darby was over there, in that match, Muto backstage said, "You young boy." He 2-2 Darby in front of Sting. That shit was hilarious.
It was funny.
Because, stature-wise, he is a young boy.
Seamus Nova says, Street saying Tanahashi thought this was a Road to tag. What are the odds? Hiroshi Tanahashi thought, it was a 5-on-5 elimination over the top rope, and then Will lied to that man or some shit.
It can't think, that'd be fucking hilarious.
Come on over. See, now, like, we got one more week or whatever to set this shit up, right? I want my Kenny Omega and Hiroshi Tanahashi interaction before the match. I want it. I know they did the thing in New Japan or whatever, and an interview together and stuff like that. That's cool.
Yeah, that was before. Was that was this year? Wasn't it, or right before this last Dome season,
summer.
Right?
It was last summer.
Okay, the set up for the. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like I need them to be like, to piece it up,
They are okay.
and shake hands, squash the beef,
Squash the beef. That shit was all kayfabe, man. Like,
yeah.
this man so upset about the build to Wrestle Kingdom 13.
I need him to make it right, piece it up at the end,
Oh boy, yeah, man, match gonna be there's so many ideas of crazy shit they're gonna do. Ultimately, it comes down to, bro, it's Darby Allin on one side, it's the Young Bucks on the other. Put the 5 up already. Don't even worry about like Dakota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, John Moxley inside the cage.
Don't worry about
Ospreay part. We just saw. We know what Sting and basically effectively a retirement match for Tanahashi, at least from America or North America, right? It's like, yeah, man, we saw what them three did for Sting, like, and now there's even more pieces to play with, and there's a cage. Like, they finna do something crazy. Yeah. Now, here's my question: Do you think that this is the appropriate thing for Darby coming back? Like, as far as like this will be his first match back.
Sure, because you can use this to actually spin off into the singles match.
That's true. I just wish that like he was like, because what they did with the body bag thing was with Claudio. I keep calling him Cesaro, but like I kind of want to see him have a match like and beat Claudio.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that's gonna happen. I just thought it was going to be like before that match got announced. I thought it was going to be like the next week's Dynamite. And then it's like, oh, they're just going to see it all in the cage. So maybe he pins Claudio in the cage. I doubt it, but
yeah. I feel like Darby getting the pin on one of the members is probably the finish.
And only, it's not going to be Gabe Kidd, I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be Matt Jackson, but,
Yeah, it could be one of the Bucks. Copeland and Stokely. Oh Lord! And the show took a left turn here. So if FTR interferes in this match, the restraining order they have against Cope becomes null and void. This Adam Copeland shit has had me doing the 80% thing, or whatever. So the security brings Stokely out. Immediately, I'm thinking like, oh wow. I remember like. They was talking about Bobby Heenan basically having these wrestler manager matches, but like the secret was like Bobby Heenan was this great worker, so it would be like all these full of like these crazy bumps, and I was like, Stokely ain't no fucking Bobby Heenan. Like that's like immediately popped in my brain.
Nope. I've seen him wrestle a couple matches. I remember watching a match. I think it was what's the indie in Chicago? Is it AEW?
AEW.
Yeah, I saw an AEW match of him, and like he had to do the manager match, and then like he was managing MJF at the time, and MJF said, and like at ringside, he's like, he's basically crying because like his manager's getting his ass whooped, but it's not like, it's not a good manager versus wrestler match. It's just he's out there getting his ass kicked for 10 minutes, 8 minutes.
Tries 2 spears against Cope, but basically like crashes into him and takes a bump, and Cope doesn't sell, obviously.
Nor should
crowd started chanting "Holy shit!" He basically got punched in the face by Cope.
Yep. And
Cope grabbed the mic. He then asked the audience members what they thought of Stokely. He basically said, the line that Stokely said the week before, he's short and bald, has no hose.
Plant City.
And then, what's up?
Plant City.
Yeah, Plant City.
Said the line perfectly on time. There's a sign about the no holes right there next to it. Then the next woman says the same thing. Like, no, you absolutely cannot get to me. It's like, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden, Cope is acting like is that old house song. He starts asking, are there some holes in the house or whatever? Yes. And I was just like, brother. I was like. Some people, if you wanted to defend this, you can say "hole" is a gender neutral term or whatever, right? I'm not willing to just shoot Adam Copeland that bail. This is just. I don't even know how to describe it.
It was funny when Stokely, knowing that he's about to get his ass whooped, says, "I've been fighting my whole life because I don't get holes." That's funny. But then it had to go further, right? And that's where the problem was. And at some point in this match, the crowd starts cheering for Stokely instead of him. And I was like, you don't want that. That means you went too long. So that's all I really got.
This fucking guy.
And then they did the,
FTR says, fuck it. They rush the ring.
Yep. Rush the ring.
What happens to the restraining orders?
Cope throws both of them out, and then he charged for the spear. He gets the fucking powder in the eyes from Stokely. I forgot the rest of it, but then they basically go to the finish and Cope wins.
Oh, like a DQ, no contest. But
the Dust got the DQ. That's right. Sorry about that. Yeah. The Dust got DQ.
So and then
Christian comes down. To make the save.
Spike in hand
with Spike, which is like, how do you get Spike if they're not on talking terms or whatever? And keep in mind, he keeps in a lock and key inside of a fucking thing. So they clear out the ring, and in comes Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne, and they start whooping on Christian, and then Copeland spears one of them, and they clear out the ring, and then they go back to back into each other, and they turn around, and one has the chair, the other one has the Spike thing, and then Christian hands Spike to Copeland, and then Copeland hugs Christian, and Christian's like, I would expect you to hug me. And then it's just like, look, man, I get what they're trying to do, and yes, it's down the card.
You ran this shit. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, by the way.
Way too fast. Wasn't earned. The steps are well done, but the rate of time actually, this needed another week or two for this to cook, because there is no reason for Copeland to be hugging him yet.
All right, inorganic.
So yeah, man. Do you remember when they did the Ambrose and Rollins reunion in 2017?
Yes.
And it was frustrating that they're already clearly a team or whatever else, and they kept holding off the fist bump, and they held the fist bump until after the match. This is the other way, where it's that was actually a better idea of holding it off than to do the hug before the match.
Yeah, but I think both of these guys stink as baby faces. I think this is a total waste of time. They are.
I can't disagree. I think Copeland's been a bad babyface in this ever since he came back in Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's nothing I want to see. And they put this on Forbidden Door. I wouldn't put this on Forbidden Door. They're doing Sabian and Nick Wayne against Cope and Christian, and then it's doesn't move me at all. I don't know who it does move.
You gotta give Kip Sabian a match in front of the home crowd.
Yes. Also, the whole Nick Wayne and Christian thing that happened for years and years is like a subplot in the Edge and Christian reunion, and then it just all leads back to FTR, and then it's just
and that's the match I actually care about. I don't give a fuck about Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. You wanna know why? Because they have given Nick Wayne the mic So I saw this clip, this tweet about people like, talking about like and then the bell rings. Talk about like, there's people that once the bell rings is like, no, they ain't got nothing for you. Like, what about the people that like, they ain't got nothing for you until the bell rings, and then you actually see their value once the bell rings? Nick Wayne is still is deeply in that category. I don't give a fuck what he has. He's a bad promo. He's the worst promo out of all three of them, between his mother and Skip Sabian. But once the bell rings, I care. But I don't give a fuck about none of this shit when he has to talk. He's a bad promo right now and a bad character. Also, I want to add to this list, throw it on there. I don't care until the bell starts ringing. What is this? What is this Chris Statlander thing? It's not good. She was never a good promo, but it's that shit she did in front of Aminata and Willow the other week when she's like, she throws paper up in the air and runs away. What the fuck is that?
Her and Willow are in this career long will they or won't they type thing, and there's no plan for it or whatever. So in the meantime, these are the things that we get, but they don't ever have a clue what they want to present Statlander as anyway. So it's like, just let her do whatever the fuck she wants, apparently.
Remember like 6 weeks ago when she might have had a chance to be influenced by Willa Yuta to go over to Death Riders? That was just 6 weeks. That was like less than 2 months ago.
Amazing.
I have no idea what they're doing with her.
Yeah. It's wow, man.
Like,
what?
Her character is so shut up and grapple to me. And I feel bad because like she absolutely has something with Willow, but like in like Willow cuts promos and like she has this energy and she clearly like she could do something as far as that, but like she as a character she's just stuck with her in like it's not. Yeah. And it's like I just think Statlander she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, and when the bell rings, but just she has to figure out this character thing, and like it can't just be based off of her relationship in the melodrama of her and Willow. She can't survive off just that unless they get tag team belts. But that's gonna hold her down for a year maybe. What happens 2 years from now?
Yeah.
Sorry for digressing this way, but this is these are two talented ass in-ring performers, and I don't give a flying fuck about them when they talk. I just don't. So I guess that's how I transitioned back to Nick Wayne. It's just a nothing promo so far. And granted, he's 18, 19, 20.
Yeah, he's like 19. He'll be.
Yeah. I'm not willing to write him off. I'm just saying right now it's really bad. It's really bad.
But it's like, I don't know even if he would like really have the creative focus yet or the ability to speak up for himself, or it's like, I don't know.
Does he even know?
When I look at it, when I look at like the program design of this, like I don't think he's basically standing up and saying I would like to do this or anything. Like he's probably like looking like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do, whatever. And it's coming from the older guys. Like that's what it feels like for me. But okay, like, he's just kind of a tool, and I think the breakout with him and Christian like earned probably a little more, but no, you're in service of Cope.
You're in service of getting them back together so they can like retire together more than Nick Wayne.
Please, I'll drive to the airport. Listen, what we got to do. All-Star 8-man tag: Young Bucks, Kyle Fletcher, and Josh Alexander. Basically, the Bucks get their theme song completely turned off this week. It introduces Mr. Instant Replay and Slick Nick, their names from the California Indies in 2004. And also like very, very early PWG. And I need something to happen to them now. Like they've done everything funny, I think, for weeks now, but it's like, all right, like where's the turnaround? Like, dude, like how long do they just keep like getting embarrassed or whatever? like do they just keep doing this?
I mean, I've enjoyed it, so I don't care. Like, man, the week before when they tried to say, look, you're not finna fuck with us, give us our real interest and all that kind of stuff to the production team, man. And then they went through the center thing, and then like that shit stopped like 2 feet in the air, and they had to crawl underneath it, and they tried to budge it up with their hands. Oh, I was fucking dying.
That shit was funny.
Yeah,
like the stuff is funny. Like, no doubt. All right, like I'm like, where's the thing where it's like either they're like either we've had enough, or it's like we're fucking broken at this point. Like I just don't know if there's that much more.
We'll see. We'll see how much more they got. But yeah, man, like when they it might just end at this. Maybe they're trying to just get it to Forbidden Door. Like we gotta, like we did the big entrance in Texas. Now we gotta come out all fucked up for O2. So, but yeah, man, when they came out there in the week before, they told the ring announcer, like, it's Josh Roberts, right? That's his name.
Justin Roberts.
That's Josh Roberts. Justin Roberts, and he read the shit verbatim as opposed to like doing his normal thing, like just to fuck with them. And then like in this match, in the middle of the match, they saw Justin Roberts, and they were like, all right, you've been fucking with us. We've been to double super kick you. And they're like, no, we're not going to do it. And then they went out there and double super kick you. And he thought about bouncing off the back of the barricade. I fucking died. That was great.
So Rich Rogan says the booking idea I saw was them buying a big song for their O2 entrance, and it's Bop. That's funny because that was their theme song in PWG. Was the Hanson shit.
Huh. Okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So they do the 8-man tag, and it's Tomohiro Ishii, Hologram, Brody King, and then Hiromu Takahashi comes out. And I didn't expect to see Hiromu Takahashi or anything, but that's a big surprise.
Happy to see him. And then immediately my mind was, oh yeah, the week before, Kyle Fletcher said, I want to face the best in New Japan, pound for pound. And then he's out there. I was like, oh, that's the match. Okay, well.
Immediately after, people were saying they could just use the juniors.
Yeah, they bring in a junior. How about that?
Hiromu Takahashi shows up wearing, all types of fuckery. This is no longer a LIJ member. He just do what he wants. He still chooses to dress insane.
He's still dressed like Truck Fit Lil Wayne. Yes.
Yeah. And they basically make a match with him and Kyle Fletcher for Forbidden Door. Mm-hmm. Get the preview tag here. The beef between Chaos and LIJ is over. Tomohiro Ishii and Hiromu Takahashi working together in harmony. Turns out that Tetsuya Naito was fucking holding all this back. This nigga Tetsuya Naito was fucking up progress.
It's all the spitting. It's all the spitting, man. That's what it comes down to.
Could have been piecing up, but. Yeah, like they had a nice 8-man tag. It's probably highlight of the show. So many great guys in here in this thing. Kyle Fletcher gives Brody King this fucking sick tombstone as part of more bang for your buck. And then to the outside, he was like, these are not popcorn muscles.
And then he sold that his knees were hurt from holding up from dropping that load on his knees. And then while he's doing that, he also wants to flex by starts kissing his bicep. I was like, this guy's a fucking shithead. I love him so much. Yeah, man. And then the match finishes with a time bomb on Josh Alexander. I was like, man, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Like they I like this match probably more than most people did. I thought this match was bordering on great. Like this was just a blast. Like Young Bucks, Moxley being bad guys and still having good matches. It's like this company. Like we are getting. Some of the suboptimal stuff is getting cut out right now. Like this company is doing very, very well for itself. As far as it's not necessarily like the week before was a better show because it had better matches, but still this was a fun match. There's another version of All-Star Tag. They didn't call it that, but people are complaining about the All-Star Tags. Like here's another one on a different name.
Yeah. So Hiromu Takahashi gets a singles match kind of at last. This kind of is long overdue, I think, for Forbidden Door. Yeah. There's trepidation about junior heavyweight. That's why they threw that pound for pound thing in there. Yep. And I don't think they really have any interest in as presenting him as a junior because why would you?
Right.
So I think So like when I first thought about it, I was like, damn, Hiromu Takahashi. And then I was like, yeah, man, I remember this guy at his fucking peak. And then it was like, this guy was like one of the most like electrifying wrestlers I've ever seen at his peak. Like 2019, I started thinking about the matches he had with like Will Ospreay, coming back from the neck surgery, which is crazy. And then like, he leveled off a little bit, still really good, but like not that insane level that he was, pretty much like from his excursion return up until maybe like 2021 or so. And he was just like this fucking phenomenon, like a lightning bolt, like of a junior heavyweight. Like this guy basically was like, he was like essentially like, yeah, bro, you the new Liger, like you gonna hold it down for the next like however many years. And
I mean, he still
it's
is
interesting to think about.
Just
it's interesting to think about like where his career is now. Like obviously, he's still, they haven't moved him to heavyweight or anything, but it's like this guy.
They're never going to.
You could go like, it's like, all right, does Hiromu start like looking around possibly and be like, all the shit changing around here? Am I, a thing of the past here? Am I, whatever? Is it time to go elsewhere? Like, I don't know, man. Like he's, I think at a very unique time because like he can do a lot of character stuff. He can do all this stuff and wrestle good enough to really maximize what he has left. I don't think he's like really interested in being like one of the best wrestlers in the world anymore or anything, but like he can still thrive, I think, in the right situation. It's just he feels so been there, done that as a junior heavyweight in New Japan. Like, so maybe this is a taste of something different for him.
Yeah. I mean, whenever I ever thought of Hiromu in Forbidden Door, my dream match was always him and Darby Allin in a singles match, but look, Kyle Fletcher's a crash out. You saw that match he had with Cody, or not Cody, with Dustin. So, yeah. And also the match he had with Ospreay. So, yeah. This will do. This will still do.
This will do.
So you mentioned the Hiromu and Ishii thing or whatever. I was like, the last time I remember them in the ring together was at New Japan Cup in 2020 match. That shit was great.
Yeah.
Empty arena too.
So up next, we had basically Swerve joining Renee. So they've done this 2 weeks in a row. Kind of a unique presentation. I don't know if this is specific to Swerve or if it's like a combo of the Swerve and Okada thing. They wanted to make you think of like the ring. So they shoot like the ring behind them.
Catch the live crowd in the back. Yeah. In the backdrop.
Yeah. And then, they haven't really had a lot to say to each other the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's more like y'all know what it's about to be. Like we're about to have this great match. They did bring up the fact that Swerve has not wrestled since the Hechicero match, and Renee asked if Swerve was medically cleared for Forbidden Door. Swerve said he doesn't care if he is or isn't. His only priority is win the belt. They did mention this for a reason. Like, so I would, I think they threw that in there, like with like, there might be something going on. So, Okada basically came out and said, also that fucking unified belt, that shit is beautiful. Like the more I'm seeing it and like the way the light reflecting off that shit and how Okada's holding it, bro, that belt is sick. Okada basically said you might as well give up now. He questioned whose house is going to be. Okada called him a bitch, and he came out in that green suit again. When Okada wears that green suit, that almost looks like that. What the fuck is that? It's like that Jim Carrey shit, like The Mask or whatever. Like it's like some evil villain suit or whatever, or Lex Luthor, or I don't know the shit or whatever. But I feel like I've seen some like green money suit or some shit like that. Like that's what that shit reminds me of.
Yeah, I think you think of Jim Carrey as the Riddler when he was in Batman in the 90s.
That's it. Okay. That's it. Okay. So I see that, but yeah, I would take this knee thing serious with Swerve. So,
okay,
I think it's gonna be an interesting match. Like as
they
far
started
as,
fighting, and how did it end? I forgot.
Security came out and pulled them apart.
Okay,
yeah, and I'm interested to see like, is this gonna be a fast paced match? Is this gonna be Swerve taking action to him? Or are they going to try to grapple? Like, because Swerve's a great mirror wrestler. Like, you know, knowing what I know about his like wrestling style, where it's like he looks at it like whatever you can do in the ring, he'll match you or whatever. So Okada, I feel like, is also like that. So it's almost like
good point.
They're similar.
They're almost like they're both counter fighters. What you're saying, yeah. Good point.
Yeah. So
someone's got to take the driver's seat. Yeah.
So, backstage, they asked Moxley about it. They said, "Hey, have you chosen your teammates for Forbidden Door?" And they told him, you know, they actually got Hiroshi Tanahashi with Ospreay, and then Moxley sells this look like, "Yeah, Tanahashi, like, oh shit, like, it's like Tanahashi's 103 years old, man, like." But
he's still the ace of the universe, though.
The fact is, Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi fought at the first Forbidden Door. It took it to his limit, you know. And you know, I appreciate Moxley for, you know, selling that. And it doesn't make any sense to laugh or ridicule Hiroshi Tanahashi.
That nigga Jon Moxley was the baby faces. It was like the biggest hero in the company's history. And during the middle of that match, the crowd start chanting, "Let's go, Ace."
Amazing. Like, and that was like because I remember at that time it was like it was going downhill for Tanahashi, right? And then he just reached back and was like, I'm on pay-per-view in the main event.
Yep.
I'm about to fucking tear it up. Like, of course, Hiroshi Tanahashi was gonna fucking be great on that night. And bro, I was like, I wanted Tanahashi to win so bad.
Yes, he did. That shit was funny. Like, you know you're not gonna win. But like when he hit the big slap, I lost it. Like, yeah, man. Oh man.
I'm gonna fucking miss that.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of just now. Just like he retired, it's gonna be sad as fuck.
Yep. He gonna be crying. The whole dome gonna be crying.
Yep.
Everybody gonna be crying watching that shit. Yep. So it's gonna be interesting to see what his last match is, and it better not be against no fucking Evil. So y'all better figure it out.
Oh yeah, that shit had a ungodly low number. That's from last week, whatever else. That shit had like a 1 flat on Cage Match, which is like impossibly bad.
Crazy. Then we got that trios match. So I talk about really kind of another happening match. Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Hobbs. You know, Rouge Jalisco and Beast Mortos. Jalisco was the one that ended up taking the fall.
Of course.
Yeah, they got to do some of these trios belts. Figure it out.
It felt like a collision match. It was a main event of Dynamite.
Yeah. Like they just kind of tack this on,
and then
punted.
And then at the end, it was Renee interviewing Anna Page, or I don't know if it was Renee. One of the interviewers for interviewing Anna Page is walking in the back parking lot or whatever else, and then MJF attacked him. Bashed his head against a car hood a bunch of times.
You know what I think should be going on. You know how they had Ishii out there. Like, there should be somebody that's paranoid or whatever from AEW, as like when seeing all these New Japan guys that have been basically coming in every time Forbidden Door comes around, they start getting real paranoid about it. Be like, whose side are you on? Essentially, like, are you with us? Or like Tomohiro Ishii going to Ishii, like, hey man, what you over here trying to scout? You know, what's going on here? You know, I don't trust you, Ishii. You know.
The New Japan scouting department in 2025, really?
No, I'm saying like it needs to be a wrestler that's going up to people like hey man, and either trying to start smoke or matches or whatever, and be like, hey, I don't trust none of these guys from New Japan. You know, those guys are different. Like and going up to somebody like Jay White, it'd be like, hey man, are you a turncoat? You really with us now or whatever? Or you loyal over there still? Go up to Kenny Omega. Whose side do you really want to be on?
That would be funny to walk on the EVP and say that. But that's the thing though. Like so many of them all have careers that have careers that were in New Japan before AEW. Is like you walk up on Kevin Knight and be like, who you with? Right? Walk on Shibata, who you with? Hell, you can watch. Well, you can't really do that, but I don't want to say like you can do that with Moxley, but like Moxley, his first appearance after WWE was actually at Double or Nothing, but he went immediately to the G1, right? Also, former IWGP champion. Will Ospreay do the same shit, right? Like you can do a lot of people. Leo Rush, same shit. There's a lot of people. It's a lot of people.
Like go to bring Rocky Romero out there. I'd be like, I have called Rocky Romero to this ring. Is somebody running an investigation? I have called Rocky Romero to this ring. We really don't know who you with. Are you with CMLL? Like,
that man getting 3 checks.
Somebody just causing chaos, literally. Just walk around like, man, let Caster do this shit. Like,
you know who you said who did Max Caster? You said.
Yeah.
You know who they won't walk up and ask who you with?
Who?
Kazuchika Okada. We know. This is now the second Forbidden Door since he's left New Japan Pro Wrestling. He ain't touched a single New Japan wrestler since.
I'm with AEW.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They have I'm with AEW. They got money, man. Like, I'm rolling with Rockefeller, man.
Specifically, they have
money.
USD, not just any money, USD.
Oh shit! But yeah. I think that'd be a nice little subplot, and also like give us plenty of laughs. So like, I think that's one place.
Sheamus Nova.
Yeah, we'll get there in a second. But if there's ever one thing that I think they fall short on is like little interactions like between like on the night of Forbidden Door, just showing people like that either have had like these shared histories or weird moments. It's like, can we have like Shibata like walk in and like run into Okada backstage and be like, oh, we on the same side, huh? But we on the other side. But it's weird to have Tanahashi run into Shibata by accident and shit like that. Like I think that's the stuff that they need to basically create like these little like, oh, okay, there's a screen cap of this or whatever in history forever or whatever. So, Okada and Tanahashi walk up to each other. Hey, you're like, don't I know you? Oh, shit. That'd be great. I wonder if Gato's going to make the trip. He might get jumped by the fans.
If I were him, I think he might leave the country for a little bit, just for a little bit. Got to come back,
I heard recently Hook has re-signed with All Elite Wrestling. I am extremely disappointed. I thought he was going to Africa personally.
Oh, he's going to soft ground wrestling Uganda.
No, just Africa. Like just see the world, But in a truthful sense, look, would you sign with WWE right now? The way they cutting people and like all these deals, and it's like these wrestlers are less valuable than ever. There is a wrestler who hit the free agency market this week who shall not be named on this show. If you're looking for somebody to push that agenda, you are in the wrong place, brother.
You know what's sad?
There's a wrestler.
You know what's sad? I see more value in a wrestling company in that guy than Hook at this point in the game. I really do. Hook has nothing for you.
It's crazy. Hook at least 15 years younger than this other guy.
Right. But that's how bad it's been. Like, nah, man. Like, he debuted in 2001, 21, 22? Yeah. Nah, man. This man was so bad that Chris Jericho had to go away.
Said individual turned 40 years old on July 19th.
Whew. Yeah. Spooky wrestler too.
Yeah.
Would do absolutely nothing in AEW.
Tough business. Aspiring Shoulder, was he bad or was Hook giving shit booking? Hook got
bad.
every chance in the world He was very bad.
He was bad outside of when he was bad outside of when he was having a match for his life, surviving against Samoa Joe, or when he was having a real glass match in Wembley Stadium with Jack Perry. Everything else he's not good.
Yeah, apparently AEW signed Ace Austin, and they announced it on Collision tonight.
Okay.
Another good guy, very very athletic guy. Always liked whenever I saw him.
So I would say that, asking us about Hook is like, okay, watch a Hook match. It goes
only 28 years old.
Sorry?
Ace Austin, only 28 years old.
Okay. I forgot how old he was. I would say if you were trying to find like why we're down on Hook, I would say watch a match with Hook. It goes longer than 5 minutes, and watch him strike. Watch every aspect of pro wrestling outside of throwing suplexes.
Right, and then think about like, is he actually like? Obviously, there's cooperation with the suplexes or whatever, but like, does it feel like Hook is actually doing the throwing, or are the other people just going up for him completely?
Like when he's suplex bad. This is just one example, but like when he's suplexing Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho is a lot bigger than him, it looks fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
and it's not like he's building towards that spot to eventually get the payoff of small guy suplexes and overcomes hulks up in lifts and slams or suplexes the bigger guy. It was just flat out, I'm going to be Brock Lesnar for the next 45 seconds.
Right, and like they present Hook, like you know how they have like on a video game, they'd be like, yeah, you can select it to be even teams or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's like the same skill level, the same size or whatever. Like you're supposed to just take Hook on his face. Like you're supposed to just assume that he's like just as bad. And it's like, bro, I don't believe it. Like, and it's like, you know, the presentation has always been kind of weird for me. Like, because all right, he's dressed like a boxer, but he wants to do suplexes, but somehow people always say he needs to be like Katsuri Shibata, or he's a technical guy or whatever. It's like, I don't see none of that. Like,
but he's not good at anything. But he's not good on. He's only good connected in. He's only good at connected wrestling. Like most of modern wrestling is running and striking. He's terrible at it.
Yeah. Yeah, forget. I'm not even asking him to be a flyer. That's not a thing. He's not a flyer. I'm not asking him to be a flyer. But like, just it's like there's no explosion there.
Outside of suplexes and judo throws, he's not good. And he's not a good. He doesn't know how to sell yet, and like he has no real charisma outside of the charm, the initial charm of being like, oh, he doesn't talk much. And then you realize, like, oh no, that's by design. That's not Orange Cassidy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the things that are kind of creative about him are usually like in his presentation. It's like, all right, it's a lot of stuff like, all right, if we drop Hook in ECW, like Paul Heyman will find a way to be like, okay, all right, we've gone down this list of all these things you can't do or whatever, so we're not gonna even fucking worry about it or whatever. Like, so like we're gonna give you like unique music, we're gonna like basically bring you out like in a spotlight, we're gonna make you look like you know, this heartthrob that is this street tough at the same time or whatever. Like they're gonna keep that very limited, and to an extent Tony Khan has kind of done the same.
He did that, but it's ran its course and he hasn't grown or developed. It's a similar issue. It's a far more damning issue, but like it's in this particular extent, but like it's a kind of similar issue with Wardlow, whereas like Wardlow has limitations and he has been able to overcome them, so he is where he is. But the thing is, you can go out here right now and go grab Wardlow if he's healthy or whatever else. You can grab him right now and have him go have a very good match. You can't do that with Hook. You can't even have a good match with Hook.
At the end of the day, Wardlow's a big motherfucker with intensity or whatever. Yeah. Like Hook doesn't have like that. Like the closest that he ever got to it was with the Samoa Joe thing, where Joe like physically challenged him and took it to him, and also Jericho too, where he was like, fucking chop me, like give it to me or whatever. Like, and it was like you saw something kind of spark in Hook where it was like, all right, you got to fight to stay in there, because there's a grown ass man you in there with, whether it was Joe or Jericho or whatever. And I know he's younger than us, so it's like I look at the guy as like, like he could be my little brother or something, right? But it's like, bro, it's time to step up. Like, if you're gonna try to play on this level, you got to step up, or you got to tap into something to where. And ironically, the comparison used to be between Hook and Dominic Mysterio because they debuted at the same time. But we clearly saw, regardless of Dominic's shortcomings in the ring or whatever, he found a way to connect with people through whatever the fuck his personality was, right? And then it got him over. And then the women also were a big part of that too.
The main issue that Dominic had was that, like, he's tagging with his all-time great superhero dad. So, like, once you move him away from that, and then, like, you get a reason to care about him, which is he's a shitty brat nepo baby, and it gets that's with these women that people deem are out of his league or whatever else. Like, that's a reason to care. And then from there, you get to the part where, like, yeah, Dominic, while he maybe has not ever improved as a wrestler, he was never a bad wrestler. Like, Hook is a bad wrestler.
Yeah, well, there's just
I'll give him more than that. He's a mediocre wrestler. I'll give him a notch above that. So it's like, that's kind of the difference. And, like, then you see people that keep coming in and out of AEW that come in there immediately like, why are we even doing this?
It's like, all right. It's like,
Nick Wayne hold on. I want to. And while I just gave Nick Wayne the business as a character, I've seen Nick Wayne have, 4.5+ star matches with people. At 19, he's younger than Hook, and I see Hook job him out left and right.
Okay, so Hook just turned 26 years old in May. Kevin Knight turned 28 in January 1st. Which one of those two guys would you push? Is that even a question?
Right, exactly.
It's like this is a whole different thing. Like, and I know people want the Hook thing really badly to work out or whatever. And he was someone that was around in the very early days in 2020 and right in the pandemic. Those guys are always going to have a certain level of reference from at least some of the fans, right?
Everyone has fond memories of things that made you happy when you were depressed. Sure.
Look, but brother, like. No thing about the old days, like
right.
It's time to show and prove. Like, it's time to break out of the prospect stage or whatever. Like, it's time to be like, all right, are you like? I remember, like, do you remember what The Rock was doing when he was 26 years old, James?
I mean, he was multiple times.
The Rock was a fucking world champion. Like, I know it's not fair to necessarily compare him to The Rock, right? But it's like, all right, he's 26 years old, and like, you've been on the scene. You've had 5 years essentially of national television exposure. That's a lot more than a lot of people have had. And what have you really done with it? Not a lot, in my opinion.
So, let's see. Yeah, man, like, somebody said, like, we glazing Jericho in 2024. Like, look, I'm not gonna act like Jericho is still it's still 2023. But what I will say is this: if you go to his cage match and you look at you just type in Google find for Hook and you look at like the colors of the numbers next to the things that have Hook in, it's like these are his lowest matches in like this run of his last year. Like, while Jericho was still diminished as an act or whatever else, and still had that weird stuff going on with the crowd reaction to him post those accusations, those unfounded accusations being thrown at him involving Kylie Ray, that made the crowd sour on him. His worst matches are with Hook.
Yeah, and there was like one person that didn't need to do that, and like it was Chris Jericho. Like, Jericho could have been doing a lot of other things.
Right.
And we saw
because he was out here having, really good. He went out there and had a great match with, like, one of his last matches with Bandito. That was a great match.
Bandito.
Yeah. So,
funny stuff happening there, but But yeah, appreciate the subscriptions and all that. But yeah, I don't know how the hook thing got on there, but yeah, I guess that's a good place to leave it, James.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. If you are watching from the stream, be sure to go to the show notes when the podcast is posted up and go to the Red Circle link and you can donate there. Also, check out our Chop Tees store and be sure to listen to other shows on the network. Besides One Inch Radio, you have Keepin It Strong Style, All Things Elite, Imps Adventure? ?
Yeah. We don't know where Imp about to be.
We don't know. We just know it's going to be an adventure.
The show.
We don't know. We don't know what type of adventure, but you know
what the adventure is.
Yeah. AEW Match Guide, Wrestling Art and Chris Things, Tunnel Talk, and the Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast. Thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace.